on a Black Friday, and a couple of teams shopping for a victory, but it's not going to come at a bargain basement price. Against the backdrop of a couple of the most iconic symbols in college football, Bevo and Big Bertha. Welcome everyone to ESPN College Football presented by Marathon. Folks, you're watching the Big 12 Conference on ESPN. It's the 112th meeting between Baylor and Texas. Baylor coming in 6-5, Texas at 7-4. So many moving parts. We'll tell you about that in just a bit. Belated happy Thanksgiving from all of us to all of you. Mark Jones chopping it up with Robert Griffin. Quinn Kesnick down in the field joining us in just a bit. I'm thankful for being able to work with such a great group in college football.
Oh, man, we're so grateful to work with you. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, and also happy Black Friday.
Yes, yes, yes. Hey, what about the fact that when you look at what's happening in the Big 12 Conference, as we peer at the standings, there's so much still at stake, especially when it comes to Texas. TCU at 8-0 by virtue of their second win last week against Baylor. Meanwhile, if Kansas defeats Kansas State tomorrow, Texas is still very much in the conversation for the Big 12 championship. And Robert, when you talk about Texas, they have one of the most imperious, dynamic tailbacks in all of college football.
Yes, they do. Bijan Robinson, he's the best back in all of college football. And what he did last week against Kansas showcased everything that he can do. 25 carries, 243 yards, and 4 touchdowns in only 2.5 quarters of work. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's got the one-cut ability, and he can jump over the top of the pile like the great Earl Campbell used to do. Bijan is a star, and if Texas had more wins this year, he would be in the conversation as the Heisman Trophy favorite.
As we turn the page and talk about Baylor, coming off a real disappointing last-second loss last week, Dave Aranda, their head coach, says, "We are slain but not mortally slow. They'll bleed and get up and fight again." And when you look at their blueprint, it's been the blueprint for some other schools as well.
Yes, it has. In our conversations this week with Dave Aranda, he kind of felt like Texas was copying his style a little bit on the defensive side of the football, running a 4-down front with 3-down principles. But he wants to show, and his guys want to show today, that they are the better version of this mirrored team. But also, their offense has found their guy in Richard Reese, the freshman. He's got a school record 908 rushing yards as a freshman. He's second in both the FBS in rushing and also rushing touchdowns amongst freshmen. The guy is a bona fide star, and he almost is like a Bijan Robinson, the younger version. This guy, he's going to have a big game for Baylor to have a chance today.
It was great to watch his development and evolution over the course of the season. Senior day here, and there's a look at one of the seniors for Texas, one of 29. He won't walk. Sweat, one of their key players up front, along with Coburn, one of those seniors. 29 of them playing their last game. Baldwin back for this kick. He watches it go into the end zone, 1st and 10 from their own 25. Quint, what's good?
All right. Bittersweet senior day here in Austin, where they honor 29 seniors today. I want to focus on 2. Roschon Johnson, the running back. You talk about strength of character, the courage to lead, the courage to step up and say the tough things to turn the trajectory of this program. He's the heartbeat of the team. Running back, special teams. And on defense, you mentioned Keandre Coburn, playing in his 50th game, the Houston native. Engaging, great personality, positive energy. He's hilarious. He's the alpha defensive lineman.
And on the field right now against this Baylor offense, Hal Presley was on the other end of that intended pass. It's incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10. There's a look at Coburn. Out of Houston, Texas, 6'2", 344. Quint talked about his disposition. He is extremely humorous. He should have his own TV show and/or podcast soon.
100%. He is hilarious.
Looking for some entertaining plays on the field from him as Baylor runs it into the boundary. And a 7-yard gain on the play by Reese. Let's take a look at Robert's keys.
Yes, guys, the keys for the day. Shopaholic. Both these teams like to shop in the running game. Use different schemes to get their running backs in the open field. Whoever runs it better today will win. Sweet potato pie. Some's got to make it sweet. And these offenses both need their quarterbacks, Blake Shapen and Quinn Ewers, to show up today and hit some big shots down the field. And then, what do you do when you see green bean casserole on your plate, Mark?
Ooh, I go the other way.
You take it away. You take it off the plate.
Not coming to my party.
These defenses have to find a way to get turnovers, whether it's fumbles in the running game or interceptions when the quarterback puts the ball in the air.
Man, green bean casserole. I thought I knew you, Robert. That pass complete right near the first down marker, but Barron there to make the stop on Kelsey Johnson, who had a touchdown run last week. And it's going to be a first down. They gave him a very propitious spot on the play, and they moved the chains.
They must have been saying that his forward progress got him that first down. But to backtrack to that green bean casserole comment you just made, my man, I ain't eating no green bean casserole.
Not at your party.
Not me.
Oh, okay.
Are you having green bean casserole at your party?
No way. No. They don't make it into my house. First and 10. Need a lot of seasoning on my stuff, too.
The previous play is under further review. Ruling on the field was a first down.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at this spot because it was extremely close. Just underway here in Austin, Texas. Back with more right after this.
Review, the ruling on the field of a first down stands. First down.
Take another look at the play. They ruled it a first down. Not enough evidence, Robert, to overturn the call on the field.
Yeah, and it's right there. You see the catch. It's right at the line, but they don't have a camera view to tell whether or not he was short or not. It looks short to me, to the naked eye, but if they couldn't have the evidence to overturn it, that's why they gave him the first down.
Nice catch by Kelsey Johnson. On its opening drive last week, Baylor scored a touchdown against TCU in that close loss. This is Squirrel Williams in the ball game with nowhere to go, swarmed, swallowed, engulfed for a loss by Jaylan Ford, who has been fantastic at that will linebacker spot this year for Texas.
Yes, he has. Jaylan Ford, as we mentioned in our meeting with him this week, had an interception last week. He has done just incredible things, man. The biggest thing I noticed about him was when we asked him, what does this game mean to you? He said, I want the seniors to go out on a high note. That's a team-first guy, and he had a really nice tackle for loss there against Squirrel Williams.
And he has one of those Barry White, Lou Rawls baritone voices.
Yes, he does.
Kind of envious on that one. 2nd and 14. The slant complete to Josh Cameron for another first down. And Blake Shapen threw a dart. He picked up 18.
Yes, what a throw there by Blake Shapen. We talked to his offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, and he said, this is the type of throw, that glance off the play action that really gets him going, gets his juices flowing. So what do? First pass right there on a concept down the field. You give him that glance route to let him get in rhythm.
Shapen again, got a man open. It hung up there, and it's knocked away. Man, he had a receiver wide open, Jalen Ellis, but it was batted away by Terrence Brooks. Ball seemed to be underthrown a little bit, Robert.
Yes, it was underthrown. You see right there, he pulled up the receiver just a little bit too much, and it almost got intercepted. Man, he must be really thankful right now that the DB dropped that. If he put that ball 5 yards out further in front, it'd be a touchdown. They'd be striking up the band, which Baylor's band looks like they're almost out of the stadium how high they are right now.
2nd and 10. Squirrel Williams in the backfield. Takes the handoff and picks up 2 on the play. It'll be a 3rd down and 8 coming up. I mean, you talk about nosebleeds.
Holy guacamole.
Those are the visiting seats, huh?
They are way up there.
They could give God a high five. Jeez. Meanwhile, back down on the field from the 49. It's 3rd down and 8. A trips left formation. They motion out of it. And on the handoff, nowhere to go for Jones. He's swallowed up immediately by Ajomo. So it'll be 4th down coming up. And Baylor will have to punt.
And Mark, Texas defense was ready for that. Defensive coordinator Pete Kwiatkowski told us Baylor goes for it on fourth down almost more than anyone else in the country, and they're second in the country in fourth down conversions. So on those 3rd and 8s around midfield, be prepared for a running play. Right there, they sniffed it out, and the defense got the stop.
Power going to punt. You're looking at Xavier Worthy. Perched at his own 7-yard line for the Longhorns. Gets a great bounce. It'll go out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. They're going to spot it at about the 8. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Longhorns. And Quinn Ewers 98 yards away after that 41-yard punt. Folks, keep an eye on number 5, Bijan Robinson, the only back in the country that has run for over 1,400 yards and caught passes for over 300 yards. He is a unique and special talent.
Yes, he is. And we talked to head coach Steve Sarkisian, and he said that against TCU, Bijan didn't run very well. And he Jordan memed it. He took it personally, and he took out that frustration on Kansas last week.
Little motion for Texas. That was Hayden Connor.
False start. Offense number 76. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat first down.
Robert, interesting to point out as we look at this motion.
Yeah, you'll see it right there, number 76. Hey, man, if you're going to false start, you might as well go ahead and try to bury the defender. Don't go up there two-stepping. I know it's Texas, but come on now.
1st and 14. Hand it off to Robinson. I was going to say that in the last couple of meetings against Baylor, Robinson has rushed for only 43 and 55 yards respectively. Steve Sarkisian, the second-year head coach, very much aware of Baylor's run defense this year. For consecutive runs, Robert, he's stopped up, this time at the line of scrimmage. Dylan Doyle with the tackle.
Yeah, and you'll see right there, Bijan Robinson went from the A gap to the B gap to the C gap. He's a very patient runner. So when we talked to defensive coordinator Ron Roberts from Baylor, he said, hey, our linebackers have to be patient. They have to be where they're supposed to be at. And when Bijan gets there, they can't try to arm tackle him. They got to body him up and gang tackle, be a wall of white across the board. And that's what you've seen on those first 2 plays.
3rd and 11. Ewers had to get rid of it quickly. Nobody in the area. No flag yet. He was not outside the pocket. Good pressure by Morgan and Walcott. And it's going to be a flag and safety perhaps, if that's the case. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our rules expert. Matt, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this will definitely be a safety. He did ground it from the end zone, threw it to where there was no player in the area. The line judge came, or the linesman came in to let him know that there was nobody in the area. He threw the flag, so yes, this will end in a safety.
Intentional grounding, offense number 3. Quarterback was in the area when he threw. No one in the area. That results in a safety.
There you go.
Well, I can tell you right now, it was a beautiful blitz. They brought a double A-gap, a show and go. So they've dropped the 2 A-gap linebackers and brought double edges. Defensive coordinator Ron Roberts told us he was going to pressure Quinn Ewers and make him feel a dirty pocket all day long. And right there, it paid off. Quinn, at least try to throw it to the left sideline where the majority of your receivers were, because everyone in the building knows that you weren't trying to throw it to a guy. You got to at least throw it near somebody.
Yeah, now they'll have to kick it away, and Baylor will get the football back. Just underway, and 9:44 to go in the opening quarter, and Texas already down 2-0 on its first series offensively of the football game.
Man,
If that indication is accurate on the sidelines, Robert, you know, Dave Aranda very much aware that he can't let his team allow TCU to beat them twice.
Exactly. He talked about how his guys were hurting, how they could feel the disappointment of not just the TCU game, but also the season. And you see that excitement on the sideline from everybody else, and Dave Aranda's just there cool, calm, collected like he always is.
From the 20, it's Baldwin. Still on his feet, makes it out to the 37-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 from there. Let's go down to Quinn.
For Dave Aranda and Baylor, relying on an old Scottish poem, "Lay me down, Let me bleed a while. I will rise and fight again.
ESPN College Football is presented by Marathon. Get the most out of your drive. And in part by Goodyear. Discover the possibilities. Goodyear, more driven.
See now, green bean casserole, no way.
No, sir.
Beef brisket, bring it.
Hey, you know it's serious when they got the black gloves on.
Yeah. I'm all in.
Oh, my goodness. My mouth is watering right now.
Get me a nice end cut. And it's 2-0 to start the game here. 1st and 10 Baylor, and
we went from that
morning pizza.
We went from that juicy brisket to that dry pizza right there, man. Come on.
1st and 10. Empty formation for Blake Shapen. Surveys, scrambles, and saves it with a sideline pass complete at the 41 to Quaylen Jones. Went through his entire progression seemingly twice, Robert, to pick up 3 yards.
Yes, he did. And Texas defense said they wanted to make Blake Shapen drop back and throw. So I like the approach of offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes in that sense, to go out there and try to throw a wrench out there and say, hey, we can drop back and pass as well. But how about that catch right there by Quaylen Jones, a running back with the toe drag swag on the sideline? Man, you don't see that very often.
On 2nd and 7, they run it into the boundary. This is Jones again on the run, picks up about 2 on the play. Sets up 3rd and a long 5 to go for Baylor. So you don't see running backs with this kind of dexterity on the sideline.
You don't. Look at him. Look at it. Eyes on the ball, toes on. That's a catch not only in college football but also in the NFL. Quaylen Jones made that catch, then he came back, got a nice little run in. We have some very talented running backs on the field today. Can't wait to diagram all the things that they can do.
He's putting some money on tape. Never too early. 3rd and 4. Squirrel Williams picks up the 1st down. Squirrel was extremely dynamic last week in that win against TCU. And he moves the chains here.
Yes, he is. And when you look at his measurables, he's 5'9", 168 pounds, soaking wet. And the guy's been pushing piles this year, running his legs, really inspiring all of his teammates. And his head coach, Dave Aranda, pointed that out and said, you don't normally see that from a guy that size to run with that type of power. Great job there by Squirrel Williams.
Reese in the backfield, the talented freshman. Play clock down to 4. Reese on the carry over the left side of that offensive line. Over Mazuka and Galvin. Brought down by Sweat for a 5-yard gain on the play. Going to see a number of tailbacks get touches for Baylor today. Hey, college football rivalry weekend begins tonight. Here are 2 of our featured matchups. Florida taking on number 16 Florida State Friday. Number 6 USC still has college football playoff hopes. Host number 15 Notre Dame at the Coliseum Saturday. Both begin 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. 2nd and 5. Jones in the backfield behind Shapen. Got a man wide open. Caught. Touchdown. Ellis. The Bears on a busted coverage score from 47 yards out.
Well, we saw Blake Shapen miss Ellis earlier on the previous drive, but this time off the play action, he hit the man in stride. Watch the play action fake to Quaylen Jones. He sets up, he lets it go early, and there's Ellis, just a little tick of the feet, but wide open for the touchdown. Blake Shapen, go out there, man, do your thing.
First touchdown of the season for Jalen Ellis. And a 9-0 lead early for Baylor, showing no residual hangover from that loss last week against TCU. He missed him earlier, but he atoned with this pass that was not underthrown. We'll be back right after this break.
It's hard to feel alive when hope's dead and gone. I can see it in your eyes.
Now here was the beautiful touchdown pass by Blake Shapen. They run a play action pass with the quarterback coming out. Then they run a go ball with a simple, easy sell concept to pull the corner down. Now what you're going to see is this corner right here is going to get caught with his eyes in the backfield, watching the run play by Quaylon Jones. And now Ellis just runs down the field free. It's a busted play. And when those happen, Blake Shapen, you got to make those men feel forsaken. Nice job.
Took advantage of it well, and kick goes out of the end zone, 1st and 10 from the 25. Texas going to try it again. Tell me what's happening on this play, Robert.
We talked about the gaps, right? So this is the A gap, this is the A gap. You got a B gap here and a C gap there. Now watch Bijan Robinson. He's going to go get the ball. He's going to go A gap. Looks at it. Nah, I don't like it. He's going to go to the next B gap. I don't like that one either, right? I don't like that. Boom. Now he gets to the C gap, and guess what? Dylan Doyle is right there waiting for him, just like his coach, Ron Roberts, said he needed to be. Bijan is patient. You have to be more patient. And when you shoot your shot, make sure you get him to the ground.
Trying to get to the edge. This is Worthy on the sweep. Got a lot of yards and picks up Texas's first down. First down of the football game. Out near midfield. They're going to mark it at the 43, actually. An 18-yard gain.
Yes, 18-yard gain. You got Bijan Robinson out there trying to lead block for him. But Xavier Worthy is a guy who can beat you fast, right? You might as well nickname him Quick Six because he can get to the end zone as fast as humanly possible. That was a play worthy of praise.
They fake the jet sweep. Ewers wide open at the 40-yard line. Catch made by Sanders. Stayed in bounds and made it all the way near down to the 20-yard line. And another first down for the Longhorns, getting it back in 2 big chunks. That last one, 37 yards.
Nice job there by Quinn Ewers and Jatavion Sanders. But watch Bijan Robinson. Okay, big little man, we see you going out there blocking for the quarterback.
Stays on his feet and makes it down inside the 15-yard line. He's put together pretty well. 222 pounds at 6 foot. Great quicks.
Now look, you saw the block, and then you see the feet. Oh, hit that. Oh my gosh, Dylan Doyle still going the other direction. But you're right, Mark. He is built pretty well at 6 foot, 222 pounds. And when I sit there and say little man, blocking was a big problem for Bijan early on in his career. He really focused on improving that, and he showed you right there.
2nd and 5. Here he is again. He's going to be stopped up about 3 yards shy of the first down. Jackie Marshall making the tackle on the play. Marshall starting again, but Brooks Miller, number 41 for Baylor, getting his first start defensively for the Bears in place of the injured Matt Jones. There's a look at Miller. A big task with him being able to run support against one of the best backs in college football, Robinson.
Yes,
3rd and 3.
It is a big task for him, and he's also going to be the guy that's lined up, matched up with Jatavion Sanders, the tight end, the dynamic tight end for Texas as well.
On 3rd and 3, they get it out to the edge quickly on the receiver screen. It's complete down to the 3-yard line to Worthy. Again, and a good block by Jordan Whittington, who is leading the way on the edge. 9-yard gain.
Yeah, Baylor goes 2 over 2, but they're a little heavy inside to try to protect the run. And then there's the block you talked about by Whittington, getting Xavier Worthy an opportunity to fall forward. Worthy's not the biggest guy either at 6'1", 164 pounds, so he's not trying to run through anybody. Give him lanes, and he'll fill it fast with speed.
Robinson in the backfield. Ewers on the fade into the end zone. Ran out of real estate, incomplete for Worthy. Good coverage by Lorando Johnson there. Let's go down to Q.
Well, head coach Steve Sarkisian looking at his play sheet. He told us this week, we're going to have to be like a boxer and bob and weave in this game. And you go back to that first drive, they tried to run it inside the tackles. Not happening against this big Baylor front. On this drive, though, a lot of different formations, getting the ball out to the perimeter, to space, to their skill guys.
Not so much bob and weave right now, Q. More like rope-a-dope. They're down 9-0. Ewers keeps it and scores. Touchdown, Texas. A resounding and impressive response to that Baylor touchdown, taking it down the field in 7 plays, 75 yards using just 3 minutes, and Ewers with his first rushing touchdown of the season, Robert.
The quarterback run is always a huge threat, and Quinn Ewers not necessarily known for his athletic ability right there, but they gave him an easy RPO type of read. They left him wide open for the touchdown, and the best part about that drive, like you said, Mark, was the response. After the safety, how is Quinn Ewers going to come back out in a game that the Longhorns need to win? He goes out, he uses the weapons around him, and he makes the play to get them back into this game. 9-7, great job, great answer by Quinn Ewers.
Sarkisian is quick to say that you never go broke taking a profit. Just take what you can get, and that's exactly what Ewers did that time for the offensive guru head coach Sarkisian.
Yeah, and you see that the picture right there of Quinn Ewers on the sideline getting congratulated by his teammates. You know, sometimes you just got to get it done dirty, man. And when you got a beard and a mullet like that, looking like Joe Dirt, it's in your name.
Okay. 3:54 to go in the opening quarter. On the day after Thanksgiving. Baldwin on the return went airborne and upended shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Let's take a look at today's road test, brought to you by Goodyear.
Yeah, we talked about Baylor going out there. You got Squirrel Williams fighting his way for a first down. Then they get the big play action pass from Blake Shapen, who hits Jalen Ellis this time in stride. And look at those ups right there on the jump. Okay, Scott Drew, you might need to go get Jalen Ellis, get him on the basketball team. As you see right there, this graphic, Baylor seeking its first win in Austin since 2014. So yes, although they won the game last year, 31-24, coming and playing at DKR is a whole nother monster.
They hand it off out of the backfield. It's Jones, and Quaylon Jones stopped up by Jaylan Ford and Jahdae Barron. We talked about Ford a little bit earlier. Great conversation with him earlier this week. He has 3 pick-sixes this year. So you might not want to throw his way.
Yeah, and he kind of described the one last week where he said just knowing how his guys play, it allows him to play off of them. And DeMarvion Overshown went after the quarterback, and he kind of covered his guy. Just high-level thinking and playing ability by Jaylan Ford.
Little blitz coming out the edge. Shapen almost threw an interception. Speaking of which, Barron almost had daylight to the end zone. Instead, it sets up 3rd down and 11. A perilous throw here.
Oh, yeah. Jayden Barron saw the concept, attacked the football, and woo! If it wasn't for Josh Cameron getting the arm in there, that would have been another pick-6. You almost spoke that one into existence,
How about
Mark.
that? What about that? 3rd and 11 coming up. Jones in the backfield. Incomplete. Baldwin, the intended receiver for Shapen. And they'll have to punt with a little over 3 minutes to go. So Texas's defense holds. The defensive guru there, Dave Aranda, against a guy that's known for his offensive strategies and tactics, Steve Sarkisian, his counterpart on the other side.
You know, right there, Mark, they did a nice job of moving the pocket. 3rd and 11, not an ideal situation, especially for a team that's a run-based team. But Shapen actually made a decent throw there. Monterey Baldwin's got to try to find a way to come down with that one.
Power with the punt, and he shanks it.
Oh, wow.
Man, you talk about a post-Turkey Day gift. That bird never took flight. And Texas is going to have outstanding field position with 2:55 to go, an 11-yard punt. Hey, Big 12 now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. There's over 50 men's college basketball games this season, plus over 200 women's basketball games, soccer and volleyball matches, gymnastics meets, wrestling, baseball, softball, as well as Big 12 conference championship events. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big 12 now. Speaking of women's basketball, Big 12, today would be great day to bring home Baylor's Brittany Griner. Prayers to her and her family. Robinson down to the 10. Brought down by Milton.
That was a great play, and I got to say, Mark, spot on with Brittany Griner. Definitely every day is a great day to bring back Brittany Griner, bring her home, but especially on Thanksgiving and this time of the year. Just praying for her as she's over there in Russia right now where she should be.
Yep. Robinson keeps those legs perpetually churning, and it's time to eat, or at least on the verge of it. 1 yard shy of the end zone. Boy, after that opening safety, a big-time response by the Longhorns.
Yeah, they didn't start fast, but right now they are on a roll. Second drive, 7 plays, 75 yards and a touchdown. You just saw Bijan Robinson right there moving the pile with all that power that he has. This is the beauty of football, guys. Momentum swings back and forth constantly, and right now it's on the Longhorn side.
Robinson, you are not going to catch him. Great straight arm move. He told Al Walcott, you got to talk to the hand because my feet aren't listening. Touchdown again, Texas. His 17th rushing touchdown of the season.
Bijan Robinson is the best make-you-miss back in all of college football.
Wow.
Whether it's a stiff arm, whether it's the one-step cut ability that he has right there in the open field. Al Walcott was not able to bring him down. But, hey, Bijan's been out there sunning defenders all year long. His name isn't Robinson for no reason.
Texas with 2 quick touchdowns, back-to-back drives.
And they did a nice job with the eye candy there. And as I said, the missed tackle in the open field. If you miss a tackle at the first or second level against Bijan Robinson, you will look up and he'll be in the end zone. The guy is that dynamic.
You know, Robert, as much acclaim as Robinson has amassed this year, he remains the ultimate teammate. We had a chance to visit with him a little bit earlier this season. And you think about the fact that with his, abundant NIL deals, he gave out headphones earlier this season to each and every one of his teammates. Not those cheap little plastic ones you get on your flight. The real headphones with the noise canceling sound, with the extra bass,
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So you can listen to your Little Dirk and, Little Baby. Baby.
There you go. Just a true testament of the person that he is.
Right.
And sometimes because he's such a great person, people don't believe he's a competitor. At least that's what his coach told us. But he's showing you how dynamic of a competitor he is, along with how great of a person he is off the field.
Let's go down to Q.
When we met him, I was blown away by his vibrant personality. This is a guy living his best life on the football field, in the community. And what stands out is just his eagerness to learn. He's inquisitive about life. Radio, film, and television major. Wants to get into acting classes this spring. His charity locally, he's donating thousands of dollars from his NIL proceeds to help less fortunate in the Austin area. This kid's a renaissance man.
Incredible young man. A grateful, bountiful giver as well. As Baylor trying to give it right back to Texas with this run by Reese, stopped by Jaylan Ford, an 8-yard gain on the play. Robert, tell me about Richard Reese and his emergence since the first game of the season when we saw them play against BYU.
Yeah, when we saw them play against BYU, Richard Reese was an afterthought, but now he is the main cog in this thing, getting it going. His ability to read, react, and get downhill fast, along with his quickness, has made him emerge as a top back in this offense.
Chapin had to get rid of it. Throws it out of bounds outside the pocket. Trying to figure out if there was a receiver in the area. The officials are going to confer.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was out of the pocket. Ball made it to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
You heard it. Under a minute to go. 3rd down and short. Yeah, where, right?
Yeah. That guy doesn't know the rules, clearly.
Home crowd have to expect a little bit of that. 3rd and 2. Reese in the backfield. 3 on the play clock. Got to go. Reese cuts it back, hard running to pick up the first down. Picked up 3 on the play. And there's an example of what you were talking about, Robert. Just his skill level, his vision, acceleration. And they move the chains with 43 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and to everybody at home, those runs right there are the ones that are underappreciated. Everybody loves the 20, 30-yard, 40-yard gains where you can really show off your speed and your quickness. But it's those runs right there, 3rd and 2, being able to put your head down, get down the field, and move the chains for a first down in a tough spot that really make running backs great.
On the toss, Reese again, nowhere to go. Stopped up for a loss of about 2, and Ford got some smoke for Reese that time. Woo. It's going to be about Reese's Pieces after this.
Holy cow. Watch this. Jaylan Ford runs a truck over this man. Oh, my Lord. Got a little help there from Jaden Barron. But, oh, you could hear that hit.
That's the end of the first quarter.
Wow. That's the end of the first 15 minutes. Big hitting from Jaylan Ford, who hits like a Chevy. We'll be back with the second quarter right after this. Back for the start of the second quarter. An impression made already. What else is new by Bijan Robinson all over this football field?
Yeah, he's showing you he can block. Then he shows you he can make you miss. He just has it all in his tool shed. And then he shows you the power, driving the guys down the football field. And just when you think you got him handled, he says stiff happens with the stiff arm right there to go get the touchdown.
2nd and 11 for the Bears. Chapin incomplete at the 50, intended for Hal Presley. And it sets up a 3rd down and long. Bijan Robinson, you talk about Thanksgiving. Thankful for student athletes like him, who are so talented on the field, yet so giving off of the field. Chapin going to do it himself with his legs, lunging, diving, and they're going to spot it a little bit short by 2 yards. He gave it a good run there, Robert. Picked up 9. Looking to the sideline, see if they're going to stay on or not. What do you make of the scenario here?
Yeah, I mean, right there, he's trying to go get the first down. If he really wanted to get it, he should have stayed on his feet, but he protected himself, got down. I like the decision here. Listen, Baylor's always going to be aggressive when it gets around midfield. They're down 14-9. This is a huge decision. You better have the best play in your playbook and run it right here.
Got a man wide open, first down and then some. Josh Cameron, nobody close to him, and well, if that was their best play, it worked.
Yes, listen, when you have these short yardage situations, you work on them every single day so that when the moment comes up, you as a player and the rest of the guys on the field know what's going to happen right there. They do a nice, easy play action boot concept to get Josh Cameron wide open for a first down. That is what I call your best play in the playbook in that situation.
Play fake to Reese. Chapin has time. The ball hung up. Incomplete. Ben Sims, the intended target. And Tucker Dorsey there to knock it away. That looked like it hung up again, Robert. I don't know if I'm seeing things. But
no, you're not seeing anything. Ben Sims is wide open. Watch Chapin as he makes this throw. He's not quite trying to throw the football. He's almost trying to place the football down the football field. Right there, Ben Sims. Look at that non-spiral, too. That's not good. A little harder for the receiver to go up and track it. Ben Sims, I'd love to see him attack the football a little bit more, try to high point it.
Okay.
But, yes, Blake Chapin can put it out a little farther in front of him.
They're going to run it. This is Reese. Stopped up right near the line of scrimmage. Alfred Collins there, the first one to make the tackle. And 3rd down coming up again for Baylor. And after going for it on 4th down last time out, thinking maybe this is 4th down territory for them here?
Oh, yeah, easily, right? I've already said it. Baylor is second in the FBS in 4th down conversions with 23. They've completed 63% of them coming into this game. This 4th down territory, be prepared for a run here. And if not, I would look for them to try to get Monterey Baldwin, number 80, right here involved in the passing concept.
Yeah, and the slot. Haven't heard much from him yet. They're going to run it, and Reese is going to be stopped up short. So 4th and about 5 to go. Overshown making the tackle on the play. I love the quote that Quint brought up earlier that Dave Aranda used earlier this week to talk about the resilience of both him and his team. Fourth and 6. Chapin looking left through the progression, finds his man, and a first down. Finally, there is Monterey Baldwin, moves the chains and keeps the drive alive. Just when we were talking about him on the previous play.
Yeah, and they put him in a stack to the top to get him some free access. And when you have speed like that, you don't want to be that far off if you're Jahdae Barron right there. Monterey Baldwin, easy, uses the staircase to get across the football field. Blake Chapin finds him in a big moment. Those are the types of opportunities that Dave Aranda talked to us about with his team having the greatest focus and the greatest technique in the biggest moments. They just showed it right there on 4th and 6.
16-yard gain. Reese into the boundary and a tough, hard-earned 3 yards. Jaylan Ford, who has been ubiquitous on the field today. He has been everywhere, sideline to sideline. Out of Frisco, Texas.
Are you saying that he's built Ford tough?
Yes. Like one F-150.
There you go.
I don't drive one. Quinn had one this weekend, his rental. 2nd and 7.
Quinn always has a truck as his rental.
Trying the right side of the offensive line this time. Reese picks up 2 more. 3rd and about 5 to go for the Bears.
And if you're at home, you're asking yourself, man, how do you move these big 344-pound and 346-pound guys up front on this Texas defensive line? That's how. You run the wide zone. You get multiple bodies on them. You don't let them sit there in 2-gap and just push your offensive lineman back. Baylor's wide zone is his best weapon right now.
Keeping Sweat and Coburn, those 2 guys in the middle, on the move. They attack the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Jones will move the chains on this methodical, impressive drive for Baylor. Just outside the 10 with a little over 10 minutes to go in the first half. Remember, a lot at stake, especially for Texas. A win today for the Longhorns and a loss tomorrow by Kansas State. And Steve Sarkisian's team still figures in to the Big 12 championship game. Chapin going to have to do it himself. No gain on the play.
A little busted play there, but watch number 99, Keandre Coburn. Oh, pushes the running back, goes through the offensive lineman. Hey, man, if I'm the running back there, too, I'm like, wait. Why am I blocking this guy? Oh, my goodness, he looks like he's got 3 9s on his jersey. Man. That man is wide.
He number 999. 16th play of the drive, and this is Reese. Overshown making the tackle.
Hey, Mark, you said he's $9.99.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense since it is Black Friday. Everything's on sale today.
Coburn getting a breather right now. Ball placed at the 7-yard line. And Coburn coming back in. Had a great visit with he and Sweat earlier this season. Those two are a comedic pair. Great compliments to each other, both on and off the football field. Little mix-up in the backfield. They put it on the ground. Reese fortunate to get it back. That's the second time, Robert, we've seen a little malfunction at the junction for Baylor.
Yeah, a little miscommunication on which way the run is supposed to go. Not sure if it was Richard Reese's fault or Blake Shapen's fault. Of course, Shapen's going to take responsibility for that mess up right there. But now they got to kick this field goal, which they are. Take the points, try to get some momentum on their side.
This will come from 30 yards out. John Mayers pretty much straight away, and he knocks it through. Baylor just 2 points down. That safety in the first quarter on Texas's opening drive so far. One of the differences in the ball game. Back after this. Hey, college football rivalry weekend begins tonight. Here are two of our featured games. Florida taking on Florida State, number 16. That's Friday. And number 6 USC, who still has college football playoff hopes, taking on number 15 Notre Dame at the Coliseum on Saturday. Both beginning at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. Got your favorite drink in your cup. Post Thanksgiving. Didn't forget the cranberry. Everybody forgets the cranberry. I did last night at our wonderful dinner we had with the crew. I didn't go. I forgot the cranberry was there. Saw it sitting there.
You went back for like 5 plates, though, so I don't know how you forgot it, man.
Hey, man, I'm a little slow sometimes, Robert. Had to blow up the classroom to get me out of the 3rd grade.
Oh, my God.
Under 8 minutes to go in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Ewers coming back on to lead that offense. There's a look at the cogent numbers so far.
Woo! Look at that right there. Time of possession. 16 minutes? 33 plays, Mark.
What does that tell you? Anything significant?
Yes. Last week, Baylor against TCU had a win in time of possession. They had more yards, more first downs, and they lost the football game. So for them, they have to make sure they're not repeating the same things because they're down 14-12 and have almost triple the amount of plays as Texas does.
There's Robinson cutting it north-south. Look at him break tackles. Determined, undaunted. Bijan. Pardon me, that's Johnson that time. Roschon.
Man, Roschon was looking so good, he had you thinking it was Bijan. I mean, these guys
so single digits from up here.
So difficult to play against because when one of them goes out, the next one comes in giving out Derrick Henry stiff arms.
Wow.
Look at him. Roschon saying, hey, man, I can play too. It's not just my number.
They got some great running backs at Texas. 21-yard gain. 1st and 10. Roschon Johnson still in the backfield. Ewers on the throwback. Sanders, the tight end, got in behind Williams. And another first down. This Texas offense has found its rhythm, Robert.
Oh, yes, it has. You're going to see Quinn Ewers do a little fake look. Eye candy, semi-roll to the right, looking for the deep shot. Oh, somebody shows up. I'll just drop it down for a nice dime on a deep cross to my main man, Jatavion Sanders. Beautiful play concept. I mean, you got a tight end like that, you got to use him. And Quinn Ewers got up after a big shot after that play as well, so pay attention to that.
That one incomplete and a flag. Going to go against Jackie Marshall. Sanders trying to make the catch on the play.
I think they're going to call him for holding or defensive pass interference there. Maybe he got to him before the ball was in play.
There is no foul for pass interference. All the action occurred behind the line.
Behind the line of scrimmage. There you go. So the ball is at 26. One more look at it.
Yeah, you see the fake.
It's behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's behind the line of scrimmage, so you can do whatever you want to him in that situation.
This is Johnson straight ahead. Down to the 20-yard line. Picked up 6. And Johnson going to stay on the field. Down to Q.
Baylor playing this drive without their nose tackle, Siaki Ika, 62 and white. This guy is a game wrecker inside at 358 pounds. He doesn't have a helmet on right now. He's got a towel over his head. And if he can't play the remainder of this game, that's a big deal here.
Yeah, Baylor with a pretty good rush defense. Ewers through the hands of his receiver, Sanders. Nobody near him either.
Oh, man, we had Dylan Doyle right there for the Baylor Bears. Dylan Doyle and also Brooks Miller going to the wrong side of the field. So Jatavion Sanders is wide open. He's going to walk into the end zone if Quinn Ewers can just give him a catchable football there. Maybe he got a little too excited and made the ball go a little high there. Boy, oh boy. When you got two linebackers with a little bit of a miscommunication, Brooks Miller in his first start, you never want to leave one of the best players on the field wide open.
Auburn from 38 yards out, able to put some points on the board on this drive. The lead up to 5. What's Ewers saying here?
Yeah, he's like, oh, shucks. He just knows right there he missed a big opportunity to blow this game open for the Texas Longhorns. Man, oh man, that mullet didn't work that time.
Well, last week a heartbreaking loss for Baylor against TCU. Had them beaten. Late touchdown drive put them out in front. And then Max Duggan orchestrating a late drive, Robert, which led to this game-winning field goal.
Yes, Max Duggan had a real Heisman moment in this game, and of course, it took a Griffin to beat the Baylor Bears. Griffin Kell comes on with 7 seconds and knocks a field goal right through the middle. I mean, amazing game, amazing moment, and the Baylor Bears were heartbroken.
Says a lot about the way Dave Aranda coaches that his team has responded here early with no hangover, as they'll have the ball. And he is in many ways the anti-stereotypical football coach. He says football is what I do, not who I am. There's no bombast, no boastfulness, just plenty of introspection. Back after this. (17-12). 5:50 to go. Hey, the Sunday NFL Countdown crew has you covered week 12, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And the Monday Night Countdown crew gets you set for Steelers Colts, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Both are on ESPN and the app. What do you make of the game this week? Pick me a winner, man.
Steelers Colts?
Yeah, pick me a winner.
The Steelers really need Kenny Pickett to start supporting him and helping him out in the Colts with Jeff Saturday. I mean, you got to go with the Colts right now.
All right. Between the tackles, it's Jones, and Jones with a first down sprint. Or close to it. Remind everyone, if Texas wins today, they're still alive in the Big 12 picture for the championship game. They need a Kansas State loss against Kansas tomorrow. So far they are, in the words of their head coach, Steve Sarkisian, mowing their own lawn. Nowhere to go for Quaylon Jones. When asked about how they were going to approach the next 48 hours, that's what he had to say about it. So we just have to worry about what we can control. That is our effort and execution on the field.
Yes, Mark, and when we talk to Jaylan Ford, the linebacker, number 41 for Texas, what does that mean, mow your own lawn? He said, it means my assignments. Who am I supposed to cover? Who am I supposed to block? What gap am I supposed to fill?
Boy, what a catch there on the edge by Jones. And spotted short of the first down.
Yes, and then when we asked, you know, Pete Kwiatkowski, the defensive coordinator for Texas, hey, what does it mean to mow your own lawn? He said it means making sure I get the calls into the guys so they can go out and execute at a high level. Every single guy that we asked the question of had a different answer, but their answer pertained to their responsibility. That's a big thing when you're a head coach, that it gets through to your players and your coaches that they just need to focus on what they have to do.
2nd and 4, Reese picks up the first down and then some. Some determined running down to the 44. Q.
I enjoy mowing my own lawn. But in Thanksgiving terms, I'll tell you what it is. It's wash your own dishes. Those who cook shouldn't have to wash the dishes after dinner.
That's a pretty good trade-off, though. I'll take the dish duty if I don't have to do a lot of cook or mow the lawn.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I pick up the phone, call my landscaper for the lawn thing. 1st and 10. And in this too long from the 44. Nowhere to go that time for Jones. Jones picks up about a yard on the play. Baylor coming in at 6-5, and in the big picture, a little bit of a disappointment vibe in terms of the way their seasons worked out, Robert?
oh, not a little bit. It's a lot of it.
Okay.
At 6-5, coming off of a Big 12 championship from last season, these players looked at themselves a different way than what their record says right now. And Coach Dave Aranda said, well, you know what? You know how do you make people see you? You go out there and you whoop some Texas Longhorn butt. That's how you make people see you.
Shapen tripped up and sacked. Great effort on the defensive front by Collins. Alfred Collins there to trip up Shapen. Sets up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, right there, literally Alfred Collins fell into a sack right there as Blake Shapen got tripped by the right tackle, Khalil Keith. Just his leg, and hey, sometimes you just got to be Johnny on the spot.
Right. That's the 5th tackle for loss for Texas today. Their 1st sack. 3rd and 13. On the screen. Man, well read. Overshown stopping up Jones immediately upon the catch. A 3-yard gain. And 4th and long.
And you can tell by that play call what Baylor's mind and thought process was going into that play. 3rd and 13, let's try to throw a screen. See if we can get into a manageable 4th down. We're past the 50. We'll go for it on 4th. Right there, they don't get anything, so now they're going to have to punt the football away.
We'll take a short break and come right back after this.
Lex's halftime report just minutes away. Jesse, Booger, and Kevin here with you. So far, Baylor has had the ball for 20 minutes in the first half, and they're down by 5.
And I understand they're trying to establish a run game, but no explosive plays. That's what happened.
And for Texas, after the first drive, they've looked pretty good, but they've got the best running back in the country. They've got to get Bijan going.
Rivalry week, we got plenty of breakdowns, including Florida State coming up later on ABC tonight. Back to Mark as well as RG3.
All right, belated happy Thanksgiving, guys. 4th and 13 here. Power punting, and wow, they were a little nonchalant. They might have been able to down that inside 5, but didn't get there in time. Instead, it goes 46 yards, but it rolls into the end zone. This is how things started for the Longhorns. Intentional grounding, subsequent safety call. Down 2-0. Baylor with another touchdown after the safety. And after that quick start, Bijan Robinson took over, Robert.
Yes, he did. Bijan Robinson's pushing the power, running for touchdowns. Quinn Ewers showing off the athletic ability there, getting the touchdown down in the red zone. But look at this, man. This right here is just astonishing. Baylor, 40 plays, time of possession, 20 minutes, 12 points. Texas, 18 plays, 7 minutes with the ball, 17 points. You don't see that very often, but it's good for the Longhorns.
You are sacked back at the 7-yard line. Good heat up front by Gabe Hall, who is their best pass rusher and a guy that's going to be playing on Sundays at some point.
Yeah, so you're going to see Gabe Hall kind of just, no one blocks him. Hey, Mark, you said he's the best pass rusher, which he is. You got to block those guys. He's got a 95 on, 3.5 sacks on the season. That might have been the easiest one he had all year.
He's got to 4.5 now, and figured that he was on the scouting report. 2nd and 20. This is Robinson, brought down by Doyle. And we got a timeout in the field. 3rd down coming up. And we have an injured player for Texas back at the 8-yard line. Looks like Cole Hudson Look like number 54. Still can't see the number from here. It is an offensive line that actually started
There is
two
no
freshmen.
timeout charged to Baylor. The game was stopped for an injury timeout first.
Yes, it is Cole Hudson. Looking at that right leg of his.
Yeah, so you're going to see him right here. Number 54, Cole Hudson, comes off on the block, and he gets rolled up. Oh, rolled up on by his own player.
Yeah, a little friendly fire, just part of the game. And Robert, you think about that, and that despite the fact that he's wearing one of those protective braces too.
And that's exactly why they wear the protective braces, because some of that trench warfare, as we like to call it, flying bodies, your knees can be very vulnerable when you're trying to hunker down, anchor, and move defensive linemen against their will. Just praying that he's okay and they can diagnose whatever's going on with him and he'll have a healthy recovery.
Well, folks, this season Allstate will celebrate every field goal and extra point made by participating universities by making a donation to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. On an overcast Friday afternoon here in Austin, Texas, Longhorns looking to stay alive in the Big 12 championship picture with a win here today against Baylor and a win tomorrow by Kansas against Kansas State. As they still examine Cole Hudson, the starting offensive lineman. An offensive line that started two freshmen. He's one of those two freshmen. Let's go down to Q.
Yeah, Hudson, the freshman from Frisco, Texas, one of two starters, including left tackle Kelvin Banks. It's really a young group when you think about trying to win in college football, especially in a league like the Big 12. You got two freshman starters, two sophomores, and one senior. It's a group that has gotten better as the year has gone on. They've played with more consistency. This medical staff now looking at the lower body of Hudson, bringing out a vehicle, and he'll be taken inside for further evaluation. So a real hush over the stadium.
Yeah.
Kind of a celebratory crowd here today. Everybody in a happy holiday Thanksgiving mood here early. Rain hasn't rolled in yet, so they're still in good spirits, and now the fans are on their feet, and they'll give Hudson an applause.
I mentioned the brace. Yeah, that happened despite the presence of that knee brace that he's wearing. I guess if nothing else, it minimizes the damage that potentially could be done when someone rolls up on you the way he got rolled up on.
Yeah, and when you have guys that size getting flung into you, 280, 300 pounds, there's not a knee brace in the country that'll protect you when it hits you right in the right spot.
You've worn those things, right?
I have. I had to wear
they
it.
Have special ones for quarterbacks, fast guys like you?
Nah, we still all have to wear the bulky knee brace to protect the knee. I wore it after my torn ACL in college in 2009 during the 2010 season. It's not easy to run with, not easy to slide with, but it does protect you.
Time now for Wendy's today's weekend wake up, brought to you by Wendy's Breakfast. Ooh, that's a lot of W's. Some teams looking for some W's, some wins today. Florida State on ABC. What do you make of this? That one, huh? Oh, that one.
That's the game.
That one.
That everybody is waiting for. College football playoff implications. Is Blake Corum healthy? How many guys are going to be out from that dynamic Ohio State offense? C.J. Stroud, J.J. McCarthy.
Those two teams basically playing for one spot in the college football playoff because the chances of the loser making it to the college football playoff are very slim.
The chances are slim, but, it's just you never know what can happen in college football. LSU could end up beating Georgia. Some other things could go down. USC could lose against Notre Dame or in the Pac-12 championship game. So never say never, I actually like the ambiguity of this year's college football playoff. We don't know who's going to get in because all these games down the stretch mean so much.
Makes for a lot of good yelling, debate. 3rd and 12. Sanders in motion at the top of your screen. Blitz coming off the edge, and they get to Ewers. They got him. T.J. Franklin. They touched him up. And Baylor calls a timeout.
Baylor has called their second timeout of the half. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1:19.
So you're going to see T.J. Franklin make an inside move here. They bring pressure off his edge. He goes inside, and number 70, Christian Jones, just acts like he's not supposed to block him. I think he thought that the right guard was going to help him out there, but T.J. Franklin, look at this reaction. He's like, I can't believe they didn't block me. You see these tattoos on my arms? I'm a bad man.
The guy that likes to watch video of Von Miller and Myles Garrett, amongst other great defensive linemen. Well, they took out Hudson, and that kind of, is that to be expected when you bring in a new offensive lineman?
Just a masterful job by Ron Roberts, defensive coordinator for Baylor. You know that Cole Hudson just went out. They bring in the backup, and what do? You pressure to that side of the offensive line, and they have a miscommunication. T.J. Franklin gets an easy sack. Masterful job.
First punt by Texas. Baldwin, good to see him back in the game. Fields it at the 45-yard line. Good starting field position at the 45 for the Bears.
And then right here, you're going to see Quinn Ewers. I think you can read his lips. He's saying, man, what the fudge did you just do? What are you doing? And his main man, DJ Campbell, is simply ignoring him. He knows he made a mistake. Quinn Ewers right there. Just get to the sideline, talk to your guys, understand the situation, and get into halftime knowing that you're going to have to do some things and make some plays to win this football game. Don't be too hard on your offensive lineman in that situation.
Coming from somebody that played the position, and
so
you were always diplomatic then with your offensive.
You don't always have to be. You don't always have to be diplomatic,
all
but
right.
I think he got the point. Okay. You don't have to belabor it.
Okay. Chapin on the move. Downfield, the bounce pass incomplete for Baldwin. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 1:07 to go. If Baylor moves judiciously here, they can get into range for some points at the very least, right?
Yeah, a field goal would be great here. You got 1:07 on the clock. You got to get a completion shape and find a way to move the football, matriculate it down the field. That first positive play goes a long way in a drive.
From the 45. Bears have 1 timeout remaining. Clean pocket. Caught on the sidelines by Baldwin, who was all alone and did a great job, Robert, of keeping those feet in bounds. 12-yard gain.
Yeah, I think Monterey thought somebody might have been around him. As you see him go up and make the catch and kind of step out of bounds. Maybe his momentum took him that way, but man, if he could have kept his balance, he had nobody there to run down the sideline. Nice toe drag swag, though. I'm always a toe drag swag fan.
Yep. 1 minute to go. First down from the 33.
And I wouldn't be afraid to run the football here if I was Baylor. You have that 1 timeout. A minute is more than enough time.
Jones in the backfield. They're going to pass. They pick up the pressure, and it's a dart complete for another first down. This one to Josh Cameron. A 12-yard gain again, under a minute to go.
That was a dart right there from Blake Chapin. He's seeing the field extremely well right now, and that's a good thing for the Baylor Bears.
In a nice rhythm, completes another one to Baldwin, just inside the 15-yard line. 7-yard gain this time, chipping away.
And we've seen this Baylor offense move the football and eat up clock, running the ball. Right now, they're really just matriculating it down the field, throwing the ball. Blake Chapin's in rhythm. He's not forcing anything. Guys are getting open. And they still got 45 seconds on the clock. Their mindset has shifted from field goal to touchdown.
On 2nd down. Down the middle. Touchdown. There it is. Sims. Why settle for 3 when you can think and get 6?
Ben Sims, the all-time leader in touchdowns for a tight end at Baylor with 11, now has 12. And watch him attack the Mike linebacker and then climb over the top. Jaylan Ford was watching tape, has known that Baylor likes to run those deep crosses from the tight end spot by Ben Sims. He lulls him to sleep and gets right over the top for 6. Like I said, they went from field goal to touchdown, and boom, there it is.
Third touchdown of the season for Ben Sims, the 12th of his career. And with time winding down in the first half, 40 seconds to go, the Bears up by 2 points. And Dave Aranda certainly pleased at that result.
Okay.
That's about as much emotion as you're going to visibly get out of him. The very stoic, stone-faced, introspective, deep-thinking, panoramic viewing head coach. Love spending time with Dave Aranda.
Oh, yeah. Dave Aranda is a full-blown philosophizer, okay? And I think I saw that eyebrow. You see those eyebrows right there?
Yeah.
One of his eyebrows, like, kind of peaked up just a little bit from the excitement of that touchdown. But that's all you're going to get from Dave Aranda.
That's a sign of defensive guru-ness.
There you go.
A guy who loves listening to the Dave Matthews Band and says his favorite movie is Antoine Fisher.
When he pulled that Antoine Fisher out of the air, I was like, wait, what? Antoine Fisher, great movie, unbelievable movie. And we'll talk to you more about why he loved that movie in a little bit.
Oh, he's going to take it out of the end zone. Robinson stopped at about the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there.
So to talk about Antoine Fisher, Dave Aranda said the reason he loved the movie so much is because of the pancake scene in the movie. Now, I've seen Antoine Fisher at least 35 times,
right.
And the part of the movie is belonging, a sense of belonging, a sense of family. And Dave Aranda said it in that moment, he was like, I don't even know if I know how that feels. So when you come out to Thanksgiving meal or breakfast and you got the pancakes on the table and the eggs and the family around you and all that love, it's just a microcosm of how we all need someone to be there for us, looking out for us the same way that Denzel Washington looked out for Antoine Fisher in that movie.
Coach Aranda thankful that his daughter now has offers. She's a high school senior to Alabama, Arkansas, and Baylor. You mentioned the Dave Matthews Band. He loves the unscripted portions like here, Ewers rolling out, and he'll love that play.
Yes.
It's a 7-piece orchestra, the Dave Matthews Band, but when they get up on stage, Mark, they just jam. They go off script. So there's structure and discipline, but he loves the freelancing like that last play.
The level of improv is what really enraptures him, has his attention. And talking about a 7-piece orchestra, number 7, Bryson Jackson, with a nice hit on that tackle.
And Mark, the biggest part of this is that Texas really fumbled the bag here. They're getting the ball right after halftime. If they had, on their previous job, gotten some points, they could have sandwiched points in between to go up even bigger on the Baylor Bears. Instead, they go in down.
That's the end of the first half of play. The studio has a lot of scores and highlights and look-aheads right after this.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Let's go. Michigan and Ohio State on a collision course.
The biggest rivalry in all sports.
This is why you came to Ohio State to play in big games like this.
It's the biggest game of the year.
We don't say our name, we don't say theirs.
Really don't like each other.
And some culinary delights on hand here in Austin at Darrell K. Royal Stadium. 2-point ball game as we head into the third quarter. The question is, how do you handle adversity? Well, Texas bounced back well in the first quarter.
Yes, they did. The great Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. How do you respond? Texas responded like that, and then Baylor is down 17-12. And how do they respond to adversity? They go out and they put together a great touchdown drive before the half to go in with the lead.
Now keep in mind, coming into the ball game, the big storyline is that if Texas wins today and Kansas State loses tomorrow against Kansas, Texas in the picture for the Big 12 Conference Championship. What do you make of how they have to start this third quarter? What do they need to do?
Well, one, they've got to stop the run on defense because Baylor's been controlling the clock, not giving them many opportunities to go out there and make plays. And then two, Quinn Ewers has to continue to use the weapons around him, whether it's Bijan Robinson, Roschon Johnson, Xavier Worthy, or all of the above. Allow those guys to make plays for you and be well-rounded in your attack.
They're going to take it 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. What are those Q-tips saying, Q?
A little leftover style, the post-Thanksgiving Q-tips for Coach Sark. It comes down the offensive line. When Cole Hudson, their right guard, got hurt there to end that second quarter, they gave up 3 sacks in the last 5 snaps. Coach Sark's also concerned about their defense being on the field too much. The time of possession has been skewed big time in favor of Baylor. And I asked Dave Aranda if we would see Siaki Ika. And guess what, folks? He's back in the game at nose tackle. Big number 62 in the lineup now.
Can't miss him. Ika going to try and make an impact on this game as Robinson takes it for a 5-yard gain brought down by Walcott. There he is. Siaki Apu Ika. That run defense for Baylor has been staunch all season. Something the Longhorns are very aware of. Whittington in motion, then sets at the wing. Ewers fires complete. Worthy slammed on the brakes, and a couple of Baylor players need some new brake pads. 14-yard gain. Let's take a look at your keys again, Robert.
Yeah, we talked about it. Shopaholic in the running game. Baylor has dominated time of possession and running the football. The sweet potato pie version of this, not as many big plays, but Bijan Robinson has been sweet in the running game. And the green bean casserole, it's still on the plate right now. We don't want it to be there, but there's no turnovers. Somebody's got to get one, and it'll change this game.
Not going near that plate. Here's Robinson. Tripped up, good tackle by Walcott. Got an arm out there to bring down Robinson. Keep in mind, the last 2 years against this defense, he's run for only 43 and 55 yards in 2021 and 2020, respectively. On 2nd and 10, they get it out quick. Oh, smoke by Johnson, Lorando Johnson, with a big-time hit on Whittington.
Ooh. My Lord, Lorando Johnson, somebody call 911. He just annihilated that man.
Sets up a 3rd down and 10. Baylor bringing pressure. Good move by Ewers to get away. Completes the pass, but it's going to be short of the 1st down by a couple of yards to Worthy.
Ooh.
And they get the...
There's Quinn Ewers right there. The reaction after the hit on Jordan Whittington. He knows, I can't put my guy in that situation, but here they are on 4th and 2. Let's see if they hand the football off or maybe throw this bubble screen up here. Oh, man.
False start. Offense number 0. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
A pejorative error that time. That puts it in 4th and 7 now. And now you got a punt.
Yeah, you're going to see him right here. Jatavion Sanders just got a little eager to go down and make that block. It looked like they were going to possibly run the football. But as I was pointing out, they didn't cover down on the slot receiver there. They had an opportunity to maybe sling it out there to him and go get the 1st down. Now they got a punt.
Kenny Trail watches it bounce into the end zone. Great effort, but it'll be 1st and 10 coming back the other way. Let's take a look at the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Student sections across the country are competing to be the Live Más student section of the year all season long. Bears smell bad.
He said the Bears smell bad. Okay, that's
Hey, by the way, hey, Live Más. I have rudimentary control of the language, Spanish. You were extremely impressive on Monday night on that appearance in Mexico on the pregame show, man. I want to commend you for your multilingual skills.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That was very adept.
Thank you, man. Can't go to Mexico and not speak a little bit of Spanish.
Reese on the run. And speaking of Monday night, our Week 12 Monday Night Football AFC matchup, TJ Watt, the Steelers, take on Jeff Saturday's Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. on ESPN Deportes, the app. Money Out Countdown kicks off 6 p.m. Eastern Time. What language you speaking this week?
Oh,
Indianapolis?
Indianapolis.
Second and 8. Quick slant. It's going to be good for about a 2-yard gain to Cameron. Let's call it 3. Overshown making the stop. 3rd down coming up for Baylor on their opening possession of the second half.
Josh Cameron's been a big part of their game plan so far. They've been hitting him in as a wide receiver, bringing him in the backfield, running on flat routes. I like how they're using the wide open spread offense to allow Chapin to see the field better. Their offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, told us that they needed Chapin to play a little bit better, give him more in the passing game, and so far today, he's done a really nice job as they're here in this bunch set.
At 13 of 21. Batted up in the air. And Chapin wisely knocks it away so it wasn't intercepted. T'Vondre Sweat got a hand up there and batted away.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass, 4th down.
Yeah, Blake Chapin had Howell Presley open in the middle of the field, and that's where he was trying to go. And right here, oh, he's definitely sweating right there after T'Vondre Sweat batted the ball in the air, because as we always say on the offensive side of the ball, tip balls get picked. And right there, Sweat saying, hey, man, not in my house.
Yeah, a sports management major.
All he needed was the Dikembe Mutombo finger.
Yeah.
No.
Not in my house. 4th punt of the afternoon for the Bears. This one will bounce out of bounds just inside the 40-yard line. Longhorns 1st and 10 from there. 1st and 10 for Ewers when we come back to Austin. Welcome back, everyone, to Austin, Texas with Bevo watching. Here's what's at stake. Just a reminder. If Texas wins today and Kansas State loses tomorrow at home in Manhattan, Kansas, against Kansas, then Texas will play in the Big 12 championship game against TCU, who remains undefeated, by the way.
Yeah. How ironic is it that if Texas wins today, they have to cheer on the team that they just beat to go beat Kansas State to give them a chance to get in the Big 12 championship? Oh, boy.
Got some flags on the field.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Connor, a sophomore. On that young offensive line for Steve Sarkisian, a guy that has guided a lot of talented quarterbacks through the years, including Matt Leinart, who he says Ewers reminds him of him at times, some qualities.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
That is not good.
That's 2 in a row.
Hayden Connor with back-to-back false start penalties. Just a little flinch.
False starts were an issue in the first half, if you remember, prior to the safety. But what concerns me is Ewers' reaction and his body language towards his offensive line. Is he looking for solutions? Is he looking to be positive? Or is he looking to enhance their mistakes?
Well, there's a solution there, Q. The pass complete to Jordan Whittington. It's on the ground. It came loose, and the Bears have it. Lemire made the fumble recovery.
The field is a fumble recovered by the defense. 1st down, Baylor.
We talked about the green bean casserole and getting takeaways. And right here, after a big play by Jordan Whittington, Lorando Johnson misses the tackle, but then Al Walcott comes in and punches it out like Charles Peanut Tillman before Whittington can get to the ground, forcing the turnover, getting the ball back for the Baylor Bears. When you steal a possession in a game like this one, it's a tight game. Both teams like to run the football. It is paramount. Right there, big time mistake. They got 2 back-to-back false start penalties, and then they turn the football over. Texas can't keep stubbing its toe.
Now it'll be 1st and 10. Good starting field position on Baylor's 2nd drive of the 3rd quarter from the 44. Braylon Jones in the backfield. Off the play fake. He checks it down. The pass caught by Jones, who slid and made a nice catch. That's the 2nd time that we've shown him making a pretty difficult catch. With a name like Jones, you know he can ball, though. So.
I mean, Mark who?
Don't.
So Jaylan Jones there, like that's a nice catch. He slips and falls down, but just the multiplicity of what all these backs in this game can do for Baylor and Texas is something truly special. We're watching greatness.
Yeah, some good talent down there. On 2nd and 9, Chapin gets it out quickly again, this time to Presley. Picked up 4 yards, sets up a 3rd down, and about 5 to go right near midfield at the 49.
And you know, they're near midfield, Mark. So they're not afraid to run the ball here.
Okay.
Thinking 4-down territory, 3rd and 5, maybe get to a manageable 4th down or get the 1st down. Baylor has shown a willingness to run the football in these situations.
3 receivers to the top of your screen. Baldwin, the most dangerous, the middle guy. Quick option, speed option. Jones got the 1st down. Barely making it, and got a nice block from Monterey Baldwin. Out there leading the charge.
I think we mentioned earlier that Monterey Baldwin's like 164 pounds. So
Yeah.
for him to be the lead blocker out there at the point of attack is really impressive.
He used every one of those 164. We got a Texas player shaken up at the 45 right near the spot of the ball. Let's take another look at Monterey Baldwin. The fastest, maybe the lightest, but maybe the bravest here, putting his body in harm's way.
Yeah, you see him right there, number 80. Oh, got thrown off a little bit, but hey, all you got to do is just enough so he can't make the tackle.
Occupied him for just enough. We're going to take a short break. Good to see Thompson up and able to walk off. Back to the action, 3rd down from the 45. Pardon me, 3rd quarter, 9:49 to go.
Is that Quinn Ewers from Wish?
I love the mullet.
You love that mullet, huh?
Yeah. Are those extensions or?
That's definitely a wig. That's a lace front. That's a lace front. He got that one.
1st and 10 from the 45. Chapin on the move. Got a little help. And slides down at the 37-yard line.
Ooh, famous mullets.
Famous mullets. We've chronicled this before. Gretzky, Boz, Rennie Johnson, pitcher, Agassi.
Oh!
Very white. Okay.
Very white?
That's more shag than mullet.
100%.
You use a little curl activator in the back. Get it that nice body, full body.
I mean, I think Quinn's got highlights in his.
Yeah.
Got to take care of the hair, man. Got to take care of the hair.
2nd and 4. Toss into the boundary. Jones tiptoes down the sideline. Let's see where they spot him out of bounds. Looked like he got close to the 1st down. They mark it right at the spot, and it looks like it's going to be enough to move the sticks. Yes. With 8:45 to go, a 4-yard gain. Jaylan Jones along with Richard Reese. Haven't seen that much of Squirrel Williams of late. He was a big factor last week.
Yeah, but in this running back rotation, they go with the hot hands, and right now Richard Reese and Jaylan Jones are doing it.
Off the fake. Open in the flat, and a bad throw to Baldwin. Looked like Robert, he had to twist around and try to make a otherwise difficult catch.
Yeah, Chapin didn't put it right on his numbers, in stride, so he can just turn up the sideline and go. Kind of made him have to spin back around, but the ball touches your hands, you're supposed to catch it. No different than earlier when Jatavion Sanders had the pass.
Don't be letting quarterbacks off the hook.
I'm just saying that he had the Quinn Ewers had the pass before the half that Jatavion Sanders dropped. It was a little high, but you got to make those plays for your quarterback.
Correct. Don't make me be hard on you today. 2nd and 10. This is Jones. Man, he put his hat down and went to work. Giving work to that defense. He took Sorrell for a ride for a few yards.
Man.
Put him on the bus.
And Jaylan Jones is a guy that Dave Aranda pointed out individually in one of our meetings and said, this guy is a physical beast. I mean, when you look at him, he's put together well as a running back. 5'10", 242 pounds of power. And they said he's finally running fully behind his pads. I think the emergence of Richard Reese and Spore Williams has something to do with that. He knows that his carries could be limited if he doesn't make the most of it.
Motivated. 3rd and 3. Gets it again. Jones cuts it back. It's going to be close. They're going to spot it a little bit short of the first down by mere inches. What do you do here, Robert? Do you kick the field goal? It looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that was ever a question in their mind. They're going to play aggressive. They trust their defense. Here, 4th and 1. Big momentum shift type of atmosphere for both Baylor and Texas. Wouldn't be shocked if they gave it to the big back, Quaylon Jones.
He's the only one back there.
Ooh. Love it.
Chapin keeps it himself and gets the first down.
You just love to see these offenses be aggressive on 4th down. It's completely changed all of college football, Mark. Defenses can no longer say, all right, we got them in 4th and 3. It's going to be a punt. They have to knuckle up and play all 4 downs. And it's been an amazing thing, an amazing phenomenon throughout college football.
Got an injured Texas player down in the field. Can effort some information and come right back after this. Take a closer look at the offensive line with pocket protection, brought to you by Nationwide.
And you know, Mark, since Cole Hudson, their freshman right guard, has gone out, it's been nothing but penalties on top of penalties and sacks on top of sacks for this Texas offense. It seems to have lost its rhythm, lost its timing. And man, right now, Baylor's got 57 plays, and Texas only has 28. Baylor has more runs than Texas has plays total. As you see the numbers there, 4 sacks and 3 false start penalties today. They got to get that under control if they want to have a chance to win.
Jones on the run and stopped up after a short gain by Overshown. It'll be 2nd down, about 9 to go. Baylor looking for its 7th win of the season. Think about the arc of Blake Chapin's season. Took over for Gary Bohannon, who was a starter last year for most of the season. And when we saw Baylor at the beginning of the year, game 1 against BYU, offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes told us that, hey, he's going to have a very productive year. Not on that pass. Anyway, Jaylan Ford batting it. And it's incomplete. 3rd down and 9 coming up.
And Mark, to your point, Chapin has had a productive year, but it hasn't been as luxurious of a year as they had thought coming into the season. They feel like he's suffering a little bit from having so many new guys and new pieces around him, whereas last year's team was a lot older. But here on 3rd and 9, this is a big-time moment in the game. Once again, you want to look for number 80, Monterey Baldwin, and number 8, Ben Sims.
Out of the backfield, incomplete. Had him open, and it sets up a 4th and 9. They'll take the field goal. Wow,
man.
I mean, he had him.
He had him here on this flat route, but just for some reason, just misplaced the spot on that throw a little bit by Blake Chapin. We know that Quaylon Jones has good hands because we've seen him make some great catches today. You got to hit that one. He might still be running down the sideline if he had.
Mayers from 40. Hooking. Missing. Pulled it to the left. In a game where points have been difficult to come by. A rather significant miss. Still a 1-score game.
As you see the kick, football is a game of inches, and it's just a little off right there. You see Steve Sarkisian's reaction to the missed field goal. I've said this time and time again, Mark, turnovers only matter if you score off of them. And right there, Baylor missed a huge opportunity.
Had a big one. 1st and 10 from the 22 for the Longhorns. And Ewers Gets it out quickly. Complete to Worthy. Xavier Worthy out of Fresno, California. Moves around a lot in their formations. An improved playmaker this year as well. 7-yard gain.
And they're trying to get him the football in situations like this when corners are far off just to get him involved.
They get it right back to him. Put his hat down, Robert, as you alluded to. They go right back to him as we go down to Q.
Ewers has been under the spotlight since early in his high school career. Reclassified, attended Ohio State, and then he transferred to Texas. He's known for his quick release and being unflappable. But today, at times, his body language has been worrisome.
Certainly has.
Bijan making people pay up the middle, Mark. And what stands out there is it's a young offensive line. People are feeding off the energy of the quarterback, the teammates, the crowd. And I think Ewers has to be a little more cognizant of how his words and his reactions to his teammates are perceived.
Bijan Robinson taking his body language the right way, turning it into a positive. Robert, what's your take on that as a quarterback? Quint brings up a great point, as it looks like Texas going fast. I'll let you talk about that after this play. It's going to be Bijan Robinson again, trying to get to the edge, and picked up about 7 on that play. What about the quarterback's body language?
Yeah, I mean, it's all body language. If I'm a quarterback and I make a bad throw, I don't want my receiver to be on the field showing me up, showing frustration. We see it happen in the NFL all the time, especially with the Zach Wilson situation with the Jets. So as the quarterback, you have to manage making the guys understand that you expect greatness out of them, but also knowing that you're not going to just call them out every single time they make a mistake.
Good point. Johnson picks up another Texas first down. Their offense in rhythm right now. Got a great cadence to it on 1st and 10. They run it again. Johnson again. Picked up about 4 on the play. 2nd down coming up. And it's running backs for Texas doing a really nice job. Out of the backfield, complete to Whittington. Still on his feet. Whittington. 1st and goal, Texas.
Now they're cooking. Jordan Whittington makes a big play right there after he had the turnover on the previous drive. That's what they need out of the junkyard dog.
Hand off to Johnson. Short of the end zone at the 1. And they have just hit the switch. Got a whistle down on the field.
The previous play is under further review. Rolling on the field was that the runner was short of the goal line.
Wonder what the chance is of this turning into a touchdown.
I think they're pretty high.
Let's take another look.
It'll be a matter of fact if his knee was down before the ball crossed the plane. But he did a nice job. If you see him lower the shoulder, kind of not expecting, and then boom. Oh, nice job of laying out
close
right there. But you got to get the other camera view. Matt Austin, what do you think about this play call here?
Well, it's extremely close. The first view was kind of hard to see because the Texas player was in the way. That way you can't see the ball. So I haven't seen a view yet that I think would be clear and obvious where they could overturn.
I tell you what, that looks like, Matt, that he might have gotten in because he was totally laid out. Didn't look like his knee or his quad or any part of his thing to touch would.
The knee doesn't go down, as you see, as he goes full extension. Knee never touches.
He launched right there.
Knee never touches, but when the hip hits the ground, what do you think, Matt?
Still, when his hip touches the ground, he's got the ball tucked in his right hand. You see his left hand reach out to the goal line, but the right hand's got the ball tucked in. So he's down there. I think the ball's short. I don't think it's enough to overturn.
Okay.
I'm going to say to the naked eye, it looks like it was a touchdown, but it doesn't matter what the naked eye says. It's about what the camera angles show.
Right.
So after all this adjudication that we just went through, it's a good chance that they're going to say that this is short of a touchdown.
2:31 to go in the third quarter. And tell you what, thanks a lot, Matt, for that clarification, and belated happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks. Same to you guys.
I tell you what, this has been a very methodical drive. They have been on the beat like a metronome.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's 2nd down.
There you go. 9 plays, 77 yards. Using up about 3 minutes on the clock so far, and about a yard away from scoring a touchdown.
And Mark, you said that it seemed like they flipped a switch. They said, you know what, Baylor, you're going to run the football? Well, guess what? We got some backs, too. We're going to come out here and play smash-mouth football, not try to be pretty, do all the bells and whistles, and try to throw the ball down the football field. We're going to get it to Xavier Worthy when you play 9 yards off. We're going to hand it off to Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson, 2 of our most powerful and dynamic backs, really, in the Big 12.
2nd and goal. Johnson in the backfield. He gets the carry. Lunging, reaching, touchdown! Roschon Johnson with the score. And Texas back up.
Roschon Johnson made sure he got in the end zone on that one. Kind of got hung up around the 1 yard line and then reached the ball into the end zone. That drive was an example of Texas saying, we're going to give you the Longhorn of the law, running the football.
10 plays, 78 yards. And it's a 5-point Texas lead with 2:21 to go in the third as we check in with the studio.
Mark, time now for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. This one over on ABC. And Boog, this is a good one in Cincinnati. Number 19, Tulane, led by Tyjae Spears.
24 carries, 130 yards. That's just pure raw speed there, Kev.
So they're up by 10, and then Cincinnati responds. Ryan Montgomery here, Jesse.
Yeah, and Evan Prater, the freshman quarterback, he's starting to settle down. And this run capped off a 14-play drive.
The winner clinches a spot in the American title game right now, 2017 Tulane. Back to you guys.
Right back here. And those 2 running backs so prolific through the years here at Texas. Throw any one of them in and they'll accomplish something for you. Size, speed, agility.
And of course, Mark, you know, for Roschon Johnson, it's bittersweet. Senior day, he talked to us about it. He said all good things must come to an end, and he's playing inspired football today.
Fair catch called at the 6-yard line by Baldwin, and a look at the respective numbers for Robinson and Johnson. Great combination.
Yeah, great combination. These 2 have made fans happy their entire time of being here. The wins haven't always been there for them, but these 2 you could always count on making a play. And as you can see there, they both have son in their name at the end, but they played like grown men their entire times at the University of Texas.
Reese cuts it north-south and makes it out near the 30-yard line. Overshone making the tackle on the play. Hey, college football rivalry weekend begins tonight. Here are 2 of our featured matchups. Florida State and number 6 USC, who still has college football playoff ambitions, taking on number 15 Notre Dame at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. Both begin at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. 2nd and 6. Johnson in motion. Sets to the left. They toss it into the boundary. And it's going to set up a 3rd down, about 3 to go. Quaylen Jones, the ball carrier, picked up 3 yards, 1:33 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes and this Baylor offensive line and tight ends are doing an amazing job of cutting the defense, getting the numbers in their advantage, and then allowing their big back, Quaylen Jones, to just get downhill past the first initial part of the line of scrimmage so that he gets to use all of his speed and all of his weight to get those easy gains. Sitting here at 3rd and 3, expect more of the same.
Little option, bad toss. Texas recovers the fumble. Oh, it's going to be an incomplete pass if it was behind the line of scrimmage. It was forward. It was not a lateral. Couldn't quite tell from this angle.
You know, Mark, I noticed on their last sprint option that they did the same thing. The back was just slightly in front of the quarterback, and you see it here. Ooh, it's a matter of, was it forward or was it straight down the line? Let's go to our rules expert, Matt Austin. What do you think about this call?
At first glance, I thought it was definitely forward. You need to have a shot right down the line to really tell. What the rule is where does it leave the quarterback's hand, what yard line is on, and where was it touched by the back?
Well, here's an angle, Matt.
Ooh, that looks like a fumble, guys.
If he'd have caught the ball in front of him, I'd have said it's a forward pass, but that view reaching back, it's really hard to tell. Again, the ruling on the field was forward. It's got to be clear and obvious to overturn it.
There you go. Thanks, Matt. 4th and 3 coming up.
The key part of what Matt Austin just said there was it has to be clear and obvious on the camera angle, not just to our naked eye, but on the camera angle. And it appears that it is not clear and obvious and won't be overturned.
Baylor's going to have to punt. Oh, wow, they're going to go for it. Chapin still on the field. Quinn?
But Baylor's going to go for it. The Texas defensive line thought it was a turnover. So you got the bunch of D linemen on their bench celebrating what they thought was a turnover. Baylor comes back on the field to go for it, and the alert goes out on the Texas bench. Hey, guys, you got to get back out there. They're late subbing, and now Steve Sarkisian had to use a timeout.
Wow. Interesting dynamic. So nobody told them that it wasn't a turnover on the sidelines. That's interesting.
Oh, man, they're huffing and puffing, too. Look at my man right here, Byron Murphy. You can tell he was out there celebrating with everybody.
Had to sprint back on the field. That could have potentially been disastrous, right?
Yeah, it
Texas?
could have for Texas. But you call the timeout. It is what it is at this point. But it's why you always have to make sure it's a turnover, whatever side of the ball you are, so that you can get on the field and finish.
Matt Austin, your thoughts?
Well, the referee definitely made an announcement that the ruling on the field was a forward pass. So I don't see where the Texas coach has any argument. They should have known that it was what the ruling on the field was and kept their defense out there.
Okay. Right. Matt Austin out here letting them know. Hey, man, we're in Austin, right?
We got important. Yeah, Austin.
There you go. A little Austin on Austin.
Yeah, man. We got important friends. Matt Austin, one of them.
There is no Texas timeout. We were reviewing the play.
Somebody, a little misdirection on that. Okay. So they were looking at the play, and this is the play in question once again.
Yeah, so as Matt Austin,
they're still going to go for it on 4th down, by the way.
What it has to be is that where the ball leaves the quarterback's hand and where it touches the back. They could not tell where it was, so it was an incomplete pass.
They've got to get to the 35. Chapin, backside pressure. Gets away, directing traffic. Passed. Caught by Jones. Running out of time and real estate. Chapin
on the field was a catch
found Jones on the sideline.
That's the second time Quaylon Jones has opened up for his quarterback, making a play on the sideline with the little toe drag swag. So you see the feet are in right there, and he makes that catch. You see the coach right there saying it's incomplete because he bobbled the ball, but he never lost control of it. That's a completion. Just another phenomenal play by Quaylon Jones, and good job by Blake Chapin extending the play.
Adroit handiwork by Quaylon Jones, once again demonstrating his receiving skills.
You know, Mark, the last time we were here, we talked about Bijan Robinson and how he had all these ball skills and he was making great catches out of the backfield.
Right.
And you got Quaylon Jones. I mean, how many times do you see a 5'10", 242-pound running back make a play like that?
Speaks to his talent. You don't see it a lot.
The previous play is under further review. The ruling on the field was a catch for a 1st down.
Hey, Matt, what do you think here?
Well, he did bobble the ball as he started to go to the ground, but I think his feet stayed in bounds and he re-secured possession before he touched out. Right there.
Yeah. That's a catch.
It's a catch. So the coach on the sideline for Texas saying that he bobbled the ball is not lying. But as you heard Matt Austin just say right there, he still regained possession of the football, and his feet were still in bounds, so that's a catch.
They're taking a look at this. That's kind of a gutsy call, 4th and 3 to go for it that deep.
That deep in your own territory? They knew something that we didn't know.
Yeah.
And ironically, Mark, Jeff Grimes and Dave Aranda told us that Blake Shapen needed to play better in the improvisation moments of the game. And right there, he improvised and made a play in a big-time moment.
Huge. Former shortstop on the baseball team.
After further review, the ruling of a catch for a first down is confirmed. First down.
There you go. With 34 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Texas clinging to a 5-point lead, needing this win, coupled with a loss by Kansas State tomorrow to appear in the Big 12 championship.
And Mark, to everyone, for everyone at home, when he says confirmed, that means that they had enough video evidence to prove that it was a catch. It not stands as in there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. But the momentum in this game has been crazy, man. Both teams are going back to the dinner plate for second and thirds of that momentum.
Baylor's 4 for 4 on 4th down. Reese. Tucker Dorsey making the tackle on the 1-yard run by Reese. That might be the last play of this 3rd quarter. Baylor back up at the line. Like I said, this was the last play of the 3rd. Blake Shapen hoping to atone for that painful, odious ending last week against TCU and flip the script on the Longhorns. We'll be back with the 4th quarter right after this. Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by Marathon. Baylor with the football. 15 minutes to go. 2nd and 9. Shapen had a tip deflected near the line of scrimmage. Overshown got a hand up to make it a 3rd down and 9.
It's a nice job by DeMarvion Overshown. We always say, hey, if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. He's out there playing volleyball, knocking the ball down. Those little moments right there in the game mean everything. Puts the Baylor Bears here in a tough situation on 3rd and 9.
Shapen 16 of 30 for 166 yards. He's thrown a couple of touchdowns. Need a play here. Taking a shot on the post. And this time he overthrows his receiver. Ellis. Good coverage by Jamison. He's had a couple of balls underthrown, and that one a little bit off the mark, so it's 4th down.
Yeah, Jalen Ellis actually had his guy beat deep. And if you're Blake Shapen, go back and watch the tape on this one. You have the entire field to throw the football to Jalen Ellis there. Lead him more towards the middle of the field, and you might be celebrating right now. But he's not. They get the stop. It's 4th and 9, and they're punting.
Xavier Worthy back at his 30 for Texas. Powell with the punt. Fair catch called at the 15. Let's take one more look and tell me exactly what you mean by more of the field and using it.
Yeah, so you're going to see this guy here is going to run a post route. And when the ball gets thrown, watch where the DB is. He's got out inside leverage. He stacks him. He's going towards the middle of the field. So when you're Blake Shapen and you're watching, you have all of this area to throw the football into. And instead, what he does is almost spot throws this, and he spot throws it just outside the hash. right? You right there, see it bounces right inside the hash. That's where they tell you to throw the post. But when you drop back to throw the football, you have to throw the ball where your guys are going and lead them to open space. Shapen didn't do it there.
Boy, look at Bijan Robinson picking up 8 yards, spinning and lunging forward. Hey, and now time for today's Aflac trivia question. After this play, we'll get it to you. 2nd and 3. Couple of straight arms by Worthy and didn't get the first down. When was the first collegiate football game on Thanksgiving and who played it?
That's interesting.
It's one a little easier than last week. Bijan Robinson. There will be no impromptu games of trivia this week. Naming the 6 states or however many states border Texas.
I thought it was
Let me Google that real quick.
I thought it was pretty fun, you know?
You passed. 9-yard gain on the play. Under heat. Ball came out loose. Baylor with a chance. The scoop. Hole. The score. Room service. Bears.
Rolling on the field was a fumble recovered by Baylor for a touchdown.
Al Wolcott knocked it out of the arms of Ewers. And in a blink, Baylor takes a 1-point lead. Wow.
And you'll see it here. Quinn Ewers is going to break the pocket after doing a little zone fake, trying to throw it outside, and Al Wolcott knocks it out of his hands. Gabe Hall, for the big fella to not just jump on top of the football there and scoop and score it. Gabe Hall decided to ball today, fellas. And now looks like they might be going for 2.
Trying to make it a field goal difference between the two.
Man. And that fake I was talking about with Quinn Ewers was really trying to show that quick pass that he's been throwing to Worthy over the past couple possessions. They do that, go to a drop back situation, and that's why they always tell young quarterbacks, 2 hands on the football. Not just young quarterbacks, all quarterbacks. Keep 2 hands on the football in the pocket because you never know how fast those defenders can get on you in a hurry.
As you said, they're going to go for 2. Sent the ball in the right hash. Baldwin, the inside receiver on that trips left formation. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. On the receiver screen, complete, and they get the 2. Presley. He took a big hit at the end of that, but they reap the benefit. And it's a 3-point lead for Dave Aranda's Baylor Bears.
Well, that's one way to score off of a turnover, right? They had the one earlier in the game. Jordan Whittington on the fumble, didn't get points off of it. But now, in this situation, they don't even leave it up to the offense. Gabe Hall does it on his own, and then Hal Presley gets the 2-point conversion. The Bears are up. See if Texas can answer when we get back.
It's hard to feel alive when hope's dead and gone.
Welcome back, everyone, to Austin. 4th quarter now for the answer to today's Aflac trivia question. First collegiate football game on Thanksgiving. Who played in it? I had half of it right. I had guessed Princeton as one of the oldest programs. They played Yale.
1876?
Man.
That was a while back. Yeah. I was just
how old were you, Mark? How old were you?
I was just a few years old. I was starting pre-K. Let's see how Ewers bounces back here. Quinn Ewers with that cataclysm. Ewers putting the ball on the ground a moment ago. It was the first non-offensive touchdown against Texas this season. Here it is.
And you see the turnovers. He had the safety. Then right there, Gabe Hall with the scoop and score. Impressive ball skills there by the big man. With 2 knee braces on. You don't see that very often. But we talked about the green bean casserole as one of the keys earlier. Take it off the plate. You got to get takeovers, and Baylor has done that.
They faked the jet sweep. Handed off to Bijan Robinson. The radio, TV, film major. Playing the leading role of star running back, picking up 9.
Yeah, right now, if I'm Texas, I'm taking the ball out of Quinn Ewers' hands, and I'm riding Bijan Robinson and Rashawn Johnson because in the drive that we saw them go on where they just flipped a switch, those two guys were the catalysts.
That's what they do. They put it in Robinson's hands again. Picks up the first down, about a 6-7 yard run. He makes them look so effortless.
He really does. And the thing about this game, despite the turnovers by Texas, despite the fact that Baylor has owned the time of possession, they're down by 3. They can run the football here with 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter and still win this football game.
Hand it off again. And about a 5 yard gain by Robinson. Number 3 in the FBS in rush yards. About to eclipse 1,500.
And you can look at this guy right here from Michigan, Blake Corum. He's one of the Heisman favorites right now. And for Bijan Robinson, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the broadcast. If Texas had won a few more games, he would be in New York, representing UT to possibly win the Heisman Trophy.
Made a great cut. Found a seam. That's all he needs is a little crease and picks up another first down. Maybe he had one of those great conversations with his buddy Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's got motivated.
He said he wants to be an actor and McConaughey is his mentor, and right there he just faked everybody on the defense thinking that he was going one way and went the other.
And now here's RB2 Johnson, who could play the role of RB1. Picks up a few yards.
You know, Mark, we had this meeting with Bijan last time we had them when they played against Iowa State, and he was showing me some of the moves of what he likes to do on the football field and setting up defenders before he even gets 5 yards next to them. He truly is a special talent, and the way he sees the game is a little different.
This is Johnson. That was in our meeting, and this is what he does in the games. Same kind of footwork right there.
He just has a special vision as a running back, a la Barry Sanders, a guy that people just couldn't get down. I know that's big praise, but
he took your ankles. He took your ankles.
He took my ankles with the crossover.
It's okay.
Hey, man, I'm not a linebacker.
Hey, he's taking a lot of ankles out there. Writing obituaries on everybody's feet. Here he is again. Picks up another first down. Bijan rhymes with Dijon. Just like the mustard, just like the spice. Under 10.5 to go. 1st and 10 again for Texas inside the 30. Here goes 5. He's going to put 5 on it. Little stutter step. And it's 1st and goal, Texas. The answer just looks pretty easy sometimes, right? Just give it to him.
What I say at the beginning of the drive, just ride Bijan Robinson and Rashawn Johnson. They are the catalyst to your success. First half, 7 carries for 29 yards. But look what this man has done in the second half of the game. 13 carries, 114 yards. Wow.
That was his longest run against Baylor today. This time limited to just 1 yard. Cole Maxwell making the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and goal. That run by Bijan a moment ago was his longest run ever against Baylor. Keep in mind that he was limited to 43 and 55 yards against the Bears the last 2 years.
Yeah, seems to have found a breakthrough, and he's putting the team on his back like that right now. But now it's number 2, Rashawn Johnson's turn.
Here he is. Put his hat down and made it down to the 3. 3rd down and goal. Morgan making the tackle for Baylor.
Man, this has been one physical football game.
You can feel it.
You can feel it. And, you know, people talk about the SEC all the time and how physical they play the game in that conference. But the Big 12 has evolved over the last decade to play great defense and play smash-mouth football up front. And these two teams are an example of that.
Great lines of scrimmage, respectively. Johnson in the backfield. And look at that. Everybody pointing fingers. Texas seems to feel, of course, it's against Baylor.
Delay game. Defense, disconcerting signals. Half positions to the goal. Right now.
Wow. Disconcerting signals. What does the defense do to earn a penalty like that, Robert?
It's not even usually. It's when they're at the line of scrimmage saying, hike, hike, go, trying to get the offensive line to jump off sides by emulating the snap count.
Okay.
So right there, Baylor Bears got caught red-handed.
Bijan Robinson back in the backfield. 3rd and goal. Lining up out of the eye. Bijan, touchdown Horns! That was a Bijan Robinson drive. Put his name on it. They rode him like Space Mountain.
Yes, they did, Mark. And the last 2 games, 47 carries, 388 yards, man. 6 touchdowns. I'm gonna make a statement here.
Go ahead.
Like,
speak it.
Bijan Robinson, right? His name is actually Persian, right? It means hero, but every defense he faces feels like he's the villain. And right now, I'm going to say it, Bijan Robinson should be in New York for the Heisman. That's how well he's playing.
ESPN College Football is presented by Marathon. Get the most out of your drive, and in part by Popeyes.
Look at some of the scenes from our crew dinner last night. The I Crew is the label they've got us. And, man, what a great time. Tina there in the middle set it all up for us. Had a fantastic Thanksgiving meal. Our family, away from our family, we are a family. We spend 18 weekends together during the course of the college football season. Enjoyed some turkey, some salmon, some brisket, dressing. Do you call it dressing or stuffing?
I mean, I've called it stuffing, but I didn't eat any of that either. But you know what I mean? I'm thankful. I'm thankful that our crew just got some FaceTime right there on national TV, because they're the ones that make everything happen for us, the behind the scenes. They make us look good. Beyond grateful to work with them. And as you said, they are our family when we're on the road. So thank you guys to the I Crew. Much love.
I just want to say I think I had more plates than anybody.
Thank you.
I was a little disappointed in Q. I thought he'd be good for at least 3, but I did a pre-workout knowing that I was going to eat a lot.
So you didn't feel so guilty.
Yeah, exactly.
I went at it pretty hard. I've been on some magical teams. In terms of work and TV, though, this one's special. And I think a lot of credit goes to our producer, Kim Belton, and our director, Anthony DeMarco. You know, Kim has put together a team that all the parts fit. You know, you were talking about that gumbo, Robert, the New Orleans gumbo, man. It's not one ingredient, it's everybody.
Yes.
No doubt about it, Q.
Yard pickup and a first down for the Bears. Down by 4. Chapin sacked back at the 38-yard line. I wonder if he was already down. No flag, though. Overshown and Tucker Dorsey there to make the tackle. Second sack today for the Longhorns.
Yeah, they are swarming the quarterback. They said they wanted to make Chapin drop back to pass. So you see here he escapes. And as Overshown shows up on him, he kind of slips down. And there's Tucker Dorsey to finish off the play. Man, oh, man. 2nd and 18 now. Not very many play calls in the playbook to get this one back for you. Look for them to run a screen or an easy pattern to get the ball out of Chapin's hands.
Now keep it on the ground and run it between the tackles. Quaylon Jones. It's going to be a 3rd down and long. Keep in mind, Texas trying to win and get a loss tomorrow by Kansas State to play in the Big 12 championship game.
And if you're Baylor, you would have liked to gotten more out of that second down, which is why I said a screen or an easy pass. But now you're sitting here at 3rd and 13, putting it on your quarterback's shoulders.
All kinds of time, shaping it, picked off at the 40, and it's coming back the other way. Jaylan Ford with his 4th.
Rolling on the field is an interception. First down, Texas.
Jaylan Ford is him.
Yeah. I talked about the second down play, which was a big one. Then they put it on the quarterback's shoulders on 3rd and 13. And here's Jaylan Ford with a finger-licking good interception. Watch him play the football. You know that man's built Ford tough as he takes it back for the Longhorns.
.6:28 to go in the 4th quarter. Texas with a 4-point lead and a huge, significant defensive play a moment ago by Ford with that interception. 1st and 10 from the Baylor 42. And Robinson run out of bounds after a nice game. Hey, college football rivalry weekend begins tonight. 2 of the featured matchups, Florida State and USC, still in the college football playoff conversation against Notre Dame at the Coliseum Saturday. Both begin at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app.
You know, Mark, shout out to Florida State. 16th in the country, having a big bounce back year. People aren't talking about them, but they deserve their credit.
Coach Norvell, here's Bijan Robinson. Got those hips, put a dip in his hip, and got the first down.
Bijan Robinson's got all the sauce right now.
Oh, man.
You got a big turnover there by Jaylan Ford, his 4th interception of the year. Of course, with 6 minutes left in the game, now 5:34. You're going to ride Bijan even more at this point. 24 carries, 162 yards. Talk about a big bounce back after the last 2 times he's played Baylor.
Yes.
Wow.
He remembers from the 25. This is Johnson. And Johnson makes it down for about a 7-yard gain. It's hotter than fish grease. Bijan has been hotter than fish grease in a huge way. We showed his totals a moment ago. He could end up with 200 before this afternoon is over if Sarkisian elects to keep him in the game long enough. Great to see his running skills on display, and my partner says that he should be getting a ticket to New York City. We'll see.
First class.
Well, he's not riding coach anytime soon, I don't think, the way he's running. Johnson picks up the first down.
Mark, they might even need to send the jet for him.
Yeah, PJ.
The PJ. That's how good he's playing. And you see that man right there, Tashard Choice, getting his guys pumped up. He's been a big reason that this running back room at Texas has been so productive and that they've been able to go out there and have the sauce of Bijan, but also Roschon Johnson's power. And then you got Jonathan Brooks, who we haven't seen much of today, but last week also had 100 yards rushing against Kansas. They all support each other, and that's what makes them great.
Johnson showing some patience, couldn't find that A gap and runs it outside. Picks up about 2 on the play. That defensive front, normally impervious for Baylor, but man, Texas, Bijan Robinson has told that Baylor defense, I'm going to treat you like corduroy and wear you out.
Now let me show you how Texas set up this big drive. Baylor's going to run a classic dagger concept and try to pull the linebacker down right here, Jaylan Ford. But he does an unbelievable job of not only just getting to his landmark, but seeing that the end cut is coming and knowing that this is the guy they're trying to get him to guard. So he looks through the quarterback, makes the play right here. As you see, Chapin thinks that the receiver is going to get in behind him. He makes it happen, and right there, when you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Big play by Jaylan Ford.
They run it around the end. Johnson leads the defender. Touchdown! Airborne! Robinson.
Oh my goodness. Rashad Johnson just put Lorando Johnson on a Wheaties box. Oh my goodness, look at him with the hurdle. He must know I'm doing the broadcast right now, because that hurdle was picture perfect. He looked like an Olympian right there.
Got the trail leg down real quick too, Robert. And the lead is up to 10.
That was some Johnson on Johnson crime right there.
Wow, this might be out of reach. He had said that he didn't want this 29-member senior class to go out on a losing note. So right there doing a little bit of the heavy lifting to make sure that the script ending is positive for the seniors, making their last appearance here at home.
I've always gotten appreciation for great hurdlers. And right there was Rashad Johnson, man. Put him on a Wheaties box, put him on a poster. Whatever he does, he needs to get that moment right there immortalized on his wall. Someone do a painting of that moment, because on senior day, he just made a huge play for his team to blow this game open.
3:48 to go, and Baylor really facing some daunting circumstances.
You know, with the new craze of art out there, they might want to just make that an NFT. All right, talk about NIL opportunities.
Yeah. That was a highlight moment worthy of it. Fair catch called at the 8-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 after that. Baldwin. Look at this. Johnson hurdles Johnson.
What a moment right there, man. A lot of times you see guys go for the hurdle and they can't land it because their equilibrium's thrown off a little bit. But look at what these two have done today.
That's a great combination.
And it's been hard yards for them as well. It's not like they just broken the game open and had a 90-yard touchdown run.
Chapin gets rid of it, incomplete, intended for Jones. It was the closest receiver. Good pressure by Tavondre Sweat. Sweat, a community studies major. Second and 10. They pick up the blitz, but Chapin sacked back at the 18 by Barron.
Jahdae Barron comes off the edge, embarrasses the running back in protection, and gets the sack on the quarterback, Blake Chapin. This is exactly why they wanted to get a lead, because they didn't feel like they could protect that Chapin could beat them in drop back pass. As you see, Jacob Gall, the center's helmet comes off right there. See him complaining on the ground like, you know, maybe it was taken off by one of the defenders in the wrong way.
Third sack of the afternoon for the Longhorns defense. And we got a timeout on the field called by Baylor. See how his helmet came off.
So you're going to see as Chapin's going down, there's a hand on the helmet and throws Jacob Gall's helmet off. So yeah, he has every right to complain about that and not wanting to miss a play.
Hey, next Sunday we'll have the exclusive reveal of the college football playoff matchups in the Fiesta Peach Bowls to be played New Year's Eve on ESPN. Reese and the guys will also unveil the New Year's 6 bowl games and have the final top 25 rankings in this 4-hour special. It all starts at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, after Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN and the ESPN app. Chapin completes it to Jones, and Jones harmlessly pushed out of bounds. 4th down coming up. You going to be on that college football playoff reveal show? Are you scheduled?
I will.
You work everything, man. I can't turn my TV on without seeing Robert Griffin III.
I'm just trying to be like you, man.
Come on, man.
You set the table.
You don't want this life.
I'm just trying to eat off the plate.
You don't want this life. 4th and 14. desperate times for Baylor.
Look for them to target, once again, number 80, Monterey Baldwin, right here on your screen.
Blitz coming. Shapen got rocked. Shook. Shaken. Overshown.
Incomplete pass. First down. Texas.
It's a miracle of Thanksgiving that he could get up after taking that hit. Look at the eyes on this play. The eyes are the windows to the soul. And he's about to take their souls away here.
You sit there and you say, Baylor coming into this season, they're the reigning Big 12 champs. And you had a thought that, you know, you never want to be the hunted.
Right.
But now for the Bears, they are being hunted. Bevo locked in on them today. And Overshown right there, full speed, knocked Blake Shapen into another universe.
Under 3 minutes to go. Bijan Robinson, great agility between the tackles with his footwork. This week's college football playoff rankings brought to you by Capital One. And there's a look at it. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU. Ohio State Michigan game tomorrow, remember, at 12 noon. TCU out of the Big 12, they'll have to play, looks like Texas now, and looking forward at that matchup. Robert, any thoughts on that?
Well, I know that. Yes, there you go. Yeah, I know Texas.
If Kansas State loses.
Texas wants that rematch against TCU. They lost to them 17-10, I believe. They want to go redeem themselves, but they're going to need Kansas to beat Kansas State. So they're going to be throwing on their Kansas jerseys, the Jayhawk jerseys tomorrow, cheering them on. But the two teams on that list that are the biggest, have the biggest impact, other than Michigan and Ohio State, is LSU and USC. If LSU can win out, I think they'd have A&M. And then win in the SEC championship game, that throws a wrinkle into everybody's predictions for what the college football playoff will be. But USC, if they can win out and be a one-loss Pac-12 champion, they have a case to get in.
They would deserve to get in. Whittington in motion. He's going to keep it on the ground. Bijan Robinson. Radio, TV, and film major. He might be able to use that degree after his NFL career is over.
Yeah. You know, we talked about earlier in the broadcast how Baylor hasn't won in Austin since 2014. This is a difficult place to play, and the Longhorns, to their credit, are trending upwards. Baylor has to figure out what its identity is going to be moving forward and make sure that they can turn this thing around next season.
The lead is 11. Robinson spins, falls forward to the 3.
Bijan is a junior out of Tucson. He'll have a decision to make at the end of the season. He'll sit down with his family, his mom Lamore, Cleo Robinson, and the coaching staff here, and he'll have to make a decision. My question to you, Robert, is NIL. He earns over $2 million in NIL. He's number 3 in the nation. Does that give a guy like Bijan Robinson more of a likelihood to stay in college, or do you think he'll declare for the NFL draft?
Let's listen to the crowd chant his name right now, and then I'll answer that question.
The People's Choice stopped up at about the 2-yard line, Robert.
So to answer that question, pre-NIL, Bijan should leave.
Right.
As a running back, you don't want to keep getting all that pounding on your body before you go to the NFL. But with NIL in place, if I'm Bijan, I'm saying, Texas, make me an offer so I have to come back. Give me $6-7 million in NIL money and NIL opportunities so that I don't have to go pro, and these fans can get another year of Bijan Robinson because he's worth it. Listen to the crowd. Listen to how they love this young man.
Thankful for NIL on Thanksgiving. Robinson trying to get to the edge. He's shut down short of the end zone. You don't want to risk, I'm not going to say it, but you don't want to risk anything bad happening.
You're saying you don't want to risk the injury. I'll say it for you. And here's how you do that. You give him that money. He's an ambassador for your school. Look at the crowd. Look at his teammates. They love this young man. He's not just a great player on the field, but he's a great role model off of it. That's what I would do if I was Bijan Robinson's agent. Make me an offer that I cannot deny.
Gotta love NIL. Kids get their share of the pie and the dream, and that's it. Robinson ran 29 times for 179 yards. This on the heels of a game where he almost had 250 yards. Now they will root for that team, Kansas, and hope that Kansas can defeat Kansas State tomorrow in Big 12 play in Manhattan. But this one is in the books. For Quint Kesenick, Robert Griffin III, our entire talented crew behind the camera, Anthony DeMarco, our director, Kim Belton, our producer. I'm Mark Jones. Belated Happy Thanksgiving. Now some college hoops. Duke, Xavier, so long from Austin.